All right, in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at a very basic Photoshop exercise for creating a postcard. This is a beginner's exercise for those just getting started. It's a fun little project for something to get your feet wet with. So follow along, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is create a new document inside of Photoshop. So once you have Photoshop launched, go ahead and just say create new. And we're going to specify a width and a height of 6 inches by 4.25 inches. You can of course swap that around if you want to go landscape or portrait, but that's a fairly standard size for postcards. Now the other important thing here, we want to make sure our resolution is set to 300 because this is a printing exercise. You would typically print the postcard. And we also want to make sure we have artboards enabled. So make sure this is checked. And then go ahead and select create. Now you'll see here that you get a default document, and the first thing we want to do is go ahead and duplicate this artboard. So if you get your move tool and you click and hold down underneath the move tool option, you'll see you get the artboard tool. So select the artboard tool, and with the artboard tool active, if you select the artboard name right there, you'll get these little 4 plus icons, and that's going to allow us to duplicate the artboard. So simply come over here and click this plus button right there, and that will duplicate the artboard into 2 halves. That way we have a front side and a back side of our postcard. So now we can select back on the regular move tool, and let's rename these artboards. You can come over here to your layers panel and simply double click, and I'll name this one the front side, and then I'll double click on this and name this the back side. Okay, so the first step in designing a postcard is to come up with some sort of imagery. You can of course take your own photograph, but I'm going to show you a couple of websites that you can use to get free, commercial, royalty-free images to use in your various projects. So let's hop over to the web browser and take a look. All right, the first website is unsplash.com. So you can come here and you can pick from any of these photographs. The second website is pixabay.com. You can come here as well. And the third website is Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S. And you can come here as well. They're all slightly different, but they're all operate on the basic concept of free photography. So I'm going to come over here to the Unsplash, and I'm just going to sort of pick a random image that's on the front page here that looks interesting. So let's go ahead. I'm going to type in the word. Postcards in my mind often feature landscapes. So I'm going to type in landscape, and we'll see what we have. You of course can find your own photo. Feel free to pause the video at this point, grab a photo, because we're going to be loading that into Photoshop in our next step. So this is the image I've chosen here. It is from photographer Nate Foong, you can see, and here's his Unsplash profile. So I'm going to jump back over into Adobe Photoshop, and let's place this on the front side. So I'm going to say File, Place Embedded, and you can just go ahead and choose that. There's the image. I'll say Place, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK to place that. Now I'm going to come over here and position it and scale it a little bit. So I'll select this photograph, hit Command T on my keyboard for free transform, and then just use the handles here to kind of scale this around, place it at a nice spot that makes me happy. So something right there is probably fine for my needs. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And because we have artboards, the edges are automatically cropped out of view, and that looks fine. Now the next thing we need to do, of course, is add a bit of text here. So I'm going to grab my type tool, and I will just say visit. So I'll place that on one text layer. That's of course really big. So I'm going to do a Command T, free transform is the shortcut, and then scale that down and just place it right here for now. I'll do another text layer, and maybe we'll call this, I don't know, fancy. I'm not sure where this location is. Likely somewhere in Utah. Whoops. Let's go ahead and try that again. For some reason, there we go. Fancy. And then I'll do one more, and we'll call this one place. All right, that looks fine. Now they're all really big, so I'm going to free transform these and just kind of scale them down. This is the way I prefer to work when I work with text inside of Photoshop. You can of course come up here to the text values and change the font size. So if I select a text layer, I can come over here and mess around with the actual font size this way as well, but I prefer to just free transform. So we'll kind of just place this here. We'll maybe say fancy, we'll place right here, and then place, maybe do the same thing right there. Let's actually scale this one down a little bit. Maybe make it about the same width as the others like this. And let's maybe scale this fancy one down as well. So I'm just playing around here. You can, of course, do any sort of design you want, but there's kind of a natural hole right here, so maybe I'll drop those guys right there. That looks fine. Whoops, wrong layer. And then we'll get the visit, bring it down. Something like this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the design because that's going to be, of course, up to you. So I'm just showing the basics here. We'll do this one a little bit smaller, kind of have this, maybe it kind of cascades down a little bit. That looks fine. And then I'm going to take all three of these layers, these text layers, holding down Shift. I'm going to select all three of them, Command G on my keyboard to create a group, and I'll just rename this group text. That way I can move now the entire group as a unit with my Move tool active. I can also scale the entire group. So now I can select that group, hit Command T on my keyboard, and scale the entire unit. So let's just scale this down a little bit, maybe place that up in the upper right a little bit, and that looks fine. Now, whenever you're working with text inside of Photoshop, you always want to make sure that you don't go all the way to the edges of your document. And an easy way to do that is by adding some guides. Now, to add a guide, you just go to the View menu, down to New Guide. And I'm just going to set these guys maybe a 1/4 inch in. So the first one I'll do is 0.25 IN for inches and hit OK. And that one comes in a 1/4 inch. Then I'll say File, New Guide, not File, View New Guide. Let's do this one from the vertical side, 0.25 inches, hit OK, and you can see that one places one over here. I would do the same thing for 3.75 and 5 point, I can't remember what the dimensions were, 5.75 for the right and bottom edges on each of these. I'm not going to continue to do that, but you get the idea. That way I can easily take my text, and I know I don't want to go above that line, so I can bump it right up against that edge, and that's a nice spot for the text. Now I'm going to hide my guides, so I'm going to go to View, Show, and I'm going to turn off my guides temporarily. So the last thing I'll do here is I'm going to take this text layer and I'm going to change its opacity. So maybe I want to just make it kind of semi-transparent so we can see some of the background shining through there a little bit. And that looks fine. I'm not going to do too much here. Maybe I kind of want this down here. I actually like this at the bottom side. I think the text stands out a little bit better on the darker areas of the bottom, and I can get a little bit more transparency. Okay, so anyway, you design up the back side, right, of your postcard. Maybe I want to add some more text or some shapes or a little bit of extra decoration. Now, for those of you who want to go the extra mile and do a little bit of more fancy of a design for the postcard, I'm going to show you a couple of advanced techniques for this. Now, again, this is completely optional. You can skip this next little part and just continue along with the back side of the design in the future. Now, for this more advanced design on the front, we're actually going to be using 4 pictures. So what I recommend you do is you find a location. Since I'm using the Utah theme, I'm going to find 4 photos that represent Utah. If you're going with some other location or a theme or something like that, find 4 photographs. Now, I've already got those downloaded. You can go ahead and pause the video at this point to get your photographs and then continue on. Now, what we want to do is the first thing before we import our 4 photographs is we want to sketch out where we want to place those photographs. So in order to see this, I'm going to come to this layer 1. I'm going to fill it with the color black. Make sure you have black set as your foreground color over here. You can double click and set that to black. And then just use the Option Delete shortcut key, or you can get your fill tool here with the paint bucket and click and fill that entire layer with black. The next step we're going to do is get the line tool just like we did before, except we're going to be setting our fill color. We're going to turn off. We're going to set our stroke color to white, and we're going to set a fairly large stroke color, so maybe our stroke size. So I'm going to go with 20 pixels. Now what I'm going to do here is just draw 2 simple lines. So I'm going to draw one line kind of from here down to here-ish and let go, and then another line kind of over here to somewhere over here-ish. And now you can see this is the area where these 4 photographs are going to be placed. One right here, one here, one here, and one here. So now at this point, I'm going to actually group all of these layers together just in a big group, and I'll just call this my grid or guide or something like that. And now let's import our layers. So I'm going to say File, Place. Again, I'm going to be using the Place Embedded command. And I've just got 4 photographs here of Utah, so we'll place this one with the arch again, and I'll just hit OK. Now at this point, I want to decide where I want to place it. So I'm going to place it underneath my guide layer for a second. And I'm going to turn off this layer 0 so I can still see my white borders and leave that black layer turned off. Then I'll select here this background layer, and just with my move tool active, I'm just gonna position this in one of these 4 corners. It doesn't really matter where. I'm gonna stick maybe this one in the bottom left. Command T to free transform to resize. The only thing you need to make sure is that it goes all the way to the edge on the top, middle point, and this bottom point. So it has to cover that entire frame. So you can resize however you want within that existing parameter. So I'll just kind of resize right there and hit OK. Again, this whole area out here is going to be cropped out and deleted in just a minute. Now let's go ahead and say File, Place on our second. So Place Embedded, I will choose another photograph here. We'll click on this one. And again, I'm going to resize this. Maybe this one I'll stick at the upper left up here. So I'll kind of place that one right over there. That looks fine. Hit OK. File, Place Embedded. You'll just repeat this process for your 3 images. This one I'll place maybe down here at the bottom left. It's kind of big right there, so I'm actually going to scale this one quite a bit down and scale up a little bit because I need to make sure that I cover that entire area again. So I'll scale up. Maybe actually I'm going to rotate this one slightly, kind of at an angle like this. That kind of looks fun there. All the way down to maybe right there. Okay, so that one looks okay there. Whoops, actually that's not okay. I got to make sure I cover that inside corner, so I'll move that up a little bit. Scale just a hair bit more right there. So now it's covering that entire area. And then File, Place Embedded on the last one here. And let's see, which was the other one here. There we go, this people on the ski lift here. We'll take these guys and we'll place them at the upper right. So I'm going to scale them down a bit and place them somewhere over there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Again, I can rearrange these white lines and skew those just how I want, but I'll just leave that good for now. Now the little trick here is we're going to be using the magic wand tool to select the area and then add a layer mask on these layers to hide certain areas. So let's go ahead and do that next. So what I'm going to do is with my guides active, I'm going to get my, let's zoom in over here so you can see. I'm going to make sure I get the magic wand tool right here. So select your magic wand tool, and if I come up here to my guide group, you can see that I can select, I'm gonna merge all of these 3 layers, these 2 layers together. So let's select line 1 and line 2, and we're gonna right click, and we're gonna say merge layers, rasterize layers. We're gonna rasterize them first, then we're gonna right click and say merge layers. So now we just have a single layer with these 2 lines. Now we can come up here and notice that when I'm on this line 2 layer, I can click and it gives me the marching ants or a selection right around the area that I'm after. So I'm just going to start in the upper right. So I'll select this with the marching ants. Then I'm going to come over here to the image that's at the upper left. I'm going to have to turn this off for a second, which in my case is this image. So you select the layer, then you come down with your marching ants active and press the mask icon. So click on the mask icon and you can see now that cut that image right down to those bounds. Okay, and then we just rinse and repeat that for the other images. So I'll come up here to my guide, get my magic wand, and make sure you're on the right layer. Click right there. Now I've got that bottom section. I'll hide that. Come to my bottom right image, which in my case is this one. Select the mask layer, and it will mask that one out. Come back up to my guide layer, turn that back on. We'll move over to this one. Turn off the guide layer, come over to my layer 3 or whichever one this one is. Hit the mask layer, and one more time, turn this on. We'll select the upper left corner, turn that off. Select the upper left image, click on the mask icon, and there we go. So now I've masked each of those out. Now what I'd probably do, just to add a little bit of extra flair here, I'm going to create a new blank layer above everything else. I can actually, yeah, sure, we'll put it right here in this area, that's fine. And what we're going to do is get a rounded rectangle, not a rounded rectangle, a regular rectangle tool. So over here, grab your rectangle tool, and we're going to turn off the fill. So make sure you have your fill set to none and set your stroke color to white. And I'm just going to leave it as the 20 pixels, the same as my other size. And what we're going to do here, whoops, cancel, is we are going to draw, if I can turn off this layer, we're going to draw a box. So just the exact same size as my document, basically. I'm going to click and drag down here and let go. And there we go. So I can, of course, then play around with the stroke size. Maybe I want that a little bit bigger, so I'll increase that a little bit, maybe something like that. That looks pretty nice. And then I just add a little bit of text, right? Maybe I come in here, create a new layer. Actually, I'm going to do this above my guide layer. Create a new layer. I'll pull this one outside here. Get some text and say, visit Utah. And whoops, I did not type visit Utah. Oh. Visit Utah. That seemed like it was harder than it should have been, right? Anyway, right, you get the idea. I would then, come in here and play around with this just like as before. I'm not going to go through all the process of doing the typography, but that's kind of a bit more of an advanced front side of your postcard. If you want to get a little bit more fancy, then you can go ahead and continue on to the back side. Now, as far as the back side goes, typically the user would write a note or something, and then they would fill out an address. So let's go ahead and do that next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my line tool over here on the left-hand sidebar. There's a line tool, and I'm going to make sure I'm on my back side artboard and click create new layer. Now the first thing I'm going to do is sort of divide this in half. So I'll divide over here, a little barrier, kind of right there. I'm not really measuring this. It's not exactly half. In fact, I probably want it a little bit more over to the right. So I got my move tool and I'm just using my arrow keys to nudge this left and right. If you hold down shift and nudge it with your arrow keys, it jumps in more 10 pixel increments. So that looks fine for me. Now I'm going to grab my arrow tool, sorry, not my arrow tool, my line tool again, create a new layer, and let's do the address lines. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and we'll grab Z on the keyboard shortcut, gets you to the zoom tool, and then you can just click. So I'll grab my line tool again. Let's this time drag this way. I'm going to hold down shift on my keyboard. That makes sure I have a straight line, and come over to about right there. Okay, that looks fine. Now the next thing I want to do is actually duplicate this line down a bunch of times. Now there's several ways we can do that in Photoshop, but an easy way is just using your Option key. So if you get the Move tool in Photoshop, make sure that you have Auto Select Layer turned off for this command, because our lines are so thin, they're a little bit tricky to click on. So we want to turn that off so we don't get messed up there. And then we're going to select this line and hold down Option. You'll notice when I hold down Option on the keyboard, I get the duplicate tool here. That's telling me I'm going to be making a copy. I have 2 arrows. So now I'm going to hold down Option, click, and drag straight down. And you can see that's creating a copy. So I'll just place this one about right there. That looks fine. And I'm just going to kind of rinse and repeat 3 or 4 times. I'll drop this one right there. Pull another one down right there. Pull another one down right there. Photoshop gives me the smart guides. That's probably plenty for an address. Now the same type of idea here, I'm going to select all of the lines that make up the address part and Command G that, and we'll rename this to my address lines. And that allows me to then move all of these lines as a group. So I can kind of place them, somewhere maybe around down here or something. And that looks fine. Now this backside, of course, is going to have an area probably for a stamp. So what I could do is I could come over here and get a rectangle. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool, and I'm going to come up here and turn on stroke and turn fill off in my case. So I've got to set the fill to off. That's the little slash red icon there. And then I'm probably going to maybe set this, I don't know, to 2 pixels. And I'll just draw a little square up here at the upper right where the stamp would probably go. Something like that. All right, so now this is kind of complete at this point. This is obviously a very basic example. Whoops, it looks like I accidentally bumped that address line group, and when I wasn't paying attention. My mouse just barely died on me, so that looks fine there. So at this point, you can of course add, some more embellishments. Maybe you can put a little stamp or something like one of those Visa stamp or something like that. Add some borders, more decoration, and have as much fun as you want with this little exercise. So I hope you learned a tip or a trick along the way in this beginner's exercise for creating a postcard in Adobe Photoshop. We'll see you in the next one.